Marijuana, also known as cannabis, is a plant that has been used by humans for thousands of years for various purposes. It contains chemical compounds known as cannabinoids, including THC and CBD, which can have psychoactive and medicinal effects. Throughout history, marijuana has played an important role in many cultures, often used for medicinal, spiritual, and recreational purposes. However, its use has also been subject to social and legal restrictions, with some countries criminalizing its use and possession. Today, the status of marijuana usage varies widely around the world, with some countries legalizing it for medical and/or recreational use, while others maintain strict laws against it. We will explore the history, science, and legal status of marijuana, as well as its potential benefits and drawbacks. Marijuana has a rich history that dates back thousands of years. Here we will explore the first known usage of marijuana and the theory of its origin in the Himalayas. The first known usage of marijuana can be traced back to ancient China, where it was used for medicinal purposes as early as 2700 BCE. The Chinese Emperor Shen Nung is credited with discovering the medicinal properties of marijuana, and it was used to treat a variety of ailments, including rheumatism, gout, and malaria. Marijuana was also used in ancient India, where it played an important role in religious and spiritual practices. The ancient Indian text, the Atharva Veda, mentions marijuana as one of the 5 sacred plants, and it was used in the worship of the god Shiva. Marijuana was believed to have the power to bring people closer to the divine, and it was often consumed in the form of a drink called bhang during religious festivals. In ancient Egypt, marijuana was also used for medicinal purposes, as evidenced by the Ebers Papyrus, an ancient medical text that dates back to 1550 BCE. The text describes the use of marijuana to treat pain, inflammation, and other ailments. The theory of the origin of marijuana in the Himalayas suggests that the plant evolved in the region that now includes India, Pakistan, and Nepal. This theory is supported by archaeological evidence that suggests that marijuana was cultivated in this region as early as 4000 BCE. The plant was likely spread to other parts of the world through trade and migration. Throughout history, marijuana has played an important role in many cultures, and its usage has varied widely depending on the culture and time period. In some cases, it was used for medicinal purposes, while in others it was used for recreational or spiritual purposes. However, as we will explore in later chapters, the social and legal status of marijuana has often been a source of controversy and debate. Marijuana contains more than 100 chemical compounds, known as cannabinoids. 2 of the most well-known and studied cannabinoids are delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and cannabidiol, CBD. THC is the compound responsible for the psychoactive effects of marijuana, and it binds to receptors in the brain to produce feelings of relaxation, euphoria, and altered perception. THC is also responsible for some of the negative side effects of marijuana use, such as impaired memory and coordination, anxiety, and paranoia. CBD, on the other hand, is non-psychoactive and has been found to have a range of potential medical benefits. CBD interacts with the body's endocannabinoid system, which regulates a variety of physiological processes, including pain, inflammation, and mood. Research suggests that CBD may be useful in treating conditions such as chronic pain, anxiety, and epilepsy. Marijuana has a range of effects on the brain and body, depending on factors such as the dose, method of consumption, and individual physiology. When marijuana is smoked, the THC is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream and reaches the brain within seconds. This can lead to immediate effects such as increased heart rate, dry mouth, and impaired coordination. Over time, chronic marijuana use can lead to changes in brain structure and function, particularly in areas related to memory, attention, and learning. However, the long-term effects of marijuana use are still not well understood, and more research is needed to fully understand its impact on the brain and body. Despite some potential risks, marijuana has been found to have a range of potential medical benefits. Research suggests that marijuana may be useful in treating pain, inflammation, and other conditions, and it has been used successfully to treat conditions such as chronic pain, epilepsy, and multiple sclerosis. However, more research is needed to fully understand the medical potential of marijuana and to determine the optimal dosing and administration methods for different conditions. marijuana laws and regulations vary widely around the world. In some countries, such as Uruguay and Canada, marijuana is legal for both medicinal and recreational use. In other countries, such as the United States, marijuana is legal for medicinal use in some states, but remains illegal at the federal level. And in still other countries, such as Japan and South Korea, marijuana use and possession are strictly prohibited and can result in severe criminal penalties. The movement to legalize marijuana has gained momentum in recent years, driven in part by arguments that marijuana is safer than other legal substances such as alcohol and tobacco, and that prohibition has led to a range of negative consequences, including increased incarceration rates and the perpetuation of black markets. Proponents of legalization argue that regulating marijuana can lead to increased safety, tax revenue, and job creation, and can also help to address social justice issues related to drug policy. Opponents of legalization, however, argue that marijuana is a dangerous drug that can lead to a range of negative health outcomes, including addiction, impaired driving, and mental health problems. They also argue that legalization could lead to increased use among youth and could undermine public safety by creating a new industry with a profit motive. The economic impact of marijuana legalization has been significant in some regions, particularly in the United States, where several states have legalized marijuana for recreational use. Legalization has led to the emergence of new industries related to marijuana, including cultivation, processing, and retail sales, and has generated significant tax revenue for state and local governments. However, legalization has also led to some challenges, including increased competition and pressure on the existing marijuana industry, and concerns about the impact of legalization on public health and safety. In conclusion, the legal status of marijuana remains a complex and evolving issue, with a range of perspectives and arguments on both sides of the debate. As more countries and regions consider changes to their marijuana laws and regulations, it is important to carefully weigh the potential benefits and risks of legalization, and to continue to conduct research to better understand the impact of marijuana on individuals and society. In summary, marijuana has played a significant role in human culture and society for thousands of years, and its use continues to be shaped by a range of cultural, social, and political factors. While marijuana has been subject to intense controversy and debate, it is clear that the substance has both potential benefits and risks, and that further research is needed to better understand its impact on individuals and society. Looking ahead, the future of marijuana remains uncertain, but it is likely that the substance will continue to be a subject of debate and controversy for many years to come. As new research and data emerge, it will be important for policymakers and society as a whole to carefully consider the potential benefits and risks of marijuana, and to work together to develop policies and regulations that promote public health and safety while respecting individual freedom and choice. If you find my video informative, please do subscribe for more such videos. Thanks for watching.